Well, good morning, Mr. Jorgensen. You're the president this year of the Acton Agua Dulce Teachers Association, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
And evidently some problems have arisen, or what should I say, differences of opinion. The district has declared impasse in negotiating with the teachers over certain items.
Yeah, that's correct. I think the best way to put it is that we're not on the same alignment. We're disagreeing with some of the processes about how we go about this process. They've declared impasse, we've gone to mediation hearing, and now we're in the process of fact-finding.
All right, but this doesn't seem to be in the best interest of the students, which is why this whole thing is built and maintained. Don't the students suffer somewhat if the teachers' minds are and the district are not working?
Well, that's correct, and that's one of the main reasons that our association rejected the offer from the district is they want to reduce 5 instruction days from this school year, or 5 furlough days, and we said, we had some questions. We went through the questions, and we did not get the answers and the responses that we thought were reasonable, so we had to reject that offer, and primarily we're looking out for the benefit of the students and retaining staff. We're going to be putting our heads together. We're going to be responding to the requirements that we're obligated to. We're going to be looking out for our students first, and we're going to be talking with our parents and letting everybody know that here's some of the questions that we have, and letting them know our position so that we can move forward in the best interest of our students.
All right, good. We'll look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thanks. All right, bye.
So basically I've got 4 words, and the first 2 words are sold out. So, thank you for coming. Took a little bit of a risk to change things up, took a chance, and this experiment, I think it's going to work out by the end of the day here. And the second 2 words are thank you, really. Thank each and every one of you for coming and spending the day with us. Anybody that gets the centerpieces, anybody that takes advantage of the green screen photographic opportunity, all those proceeds do go benefit the Antelope Valley College Scholarship Foundation, so I urge you to do so. It's really great being in a place like Mojave Aerospace Park. And I'm going to, in just a couple seconds here, we're going to play a little video that is going to acquaint you a little bit about what goes on here and what it's all about. So it's a really unique place. No other place in the country like it, as you'll see and you'll learn throughout the day. So let's see this video about Mojave.
To most people, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina is just a wasteland. But to 2 brothers who were bicycle mechanics from Dayton, Ohio, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. The steady breeze, the short runway, the soft sand for landing, those same elements are alive and well in Mojave today. We have access to a piece of airspace that's a national treasure that's about 200 nautical miles by 200 nautical miles, and it goes from the surface essentially to the moon. I don't know of another place that has that type of geography in this industry anywhere on Earth. We have a decided advantage just because of our location right here in Mojave. Plus we have the right attitude in the aerospace valley, but this is just what we do. In Mojave, we have this cluster of highly talented, innovative people. They're still 5th graders in a lot of ways. They don't know what they can't do. And so they're not afraid to try things. And they try things every day that don't work, in hopes that they'll try something that does work. It's more of a mindset. It's more of what's inside that's driving these people. Jeff Greason, Amos co-patent holder of the Intel Pentium 3 chip. What credentials does he have to come to Mojave, set up shop, and become a rocket scientist of a leading suborbital and orbital systems developer? Well, the same argument can be made of orbital and rover. What on earth did 2 bicycle builders have in terms of credentials to build the first vehicle to engage in flight?
Space Corps is to try to bring the cost and the frequency of space transportation to a point where we can make economic use of space. Lynx is our name for the suborbital spacecraft that we're developing and have been for a number of years. It's a small ship that takes the pilot and one person, or the pilot and a payload, from the runway up into the space environment and back down to land. Our work is inspired by the same ethos that fueled Silicon Valley in its early days, and that competitive but also collaborative atmosphere drives us all to move more swiftly.
That is that Wright brothers effect carried into several different organizations on the flight plan. When you look in the eyes of people like George Whitesides, George could have probably been successful in any one of the 50 industries, just like Jeff Grayson, but they chose this one.
The mission of Virgin Galactic is to open space for the rest of us. So our aspiration is to bring the price down of space access and to open up the space experience to dramatically more people around the world. Right now our company is doing two different things. One is we're trying to finish flight test for our Spaceship 2 vehicle, which will bring thousands and eventually hundreds of thousands of people into space. We're also building a new small satellite launch vehicle called Launcher 1, which will take small satellites up into orbit. Mojave is a perfect place for us because it is the center of aerospace entrepreneurial development. If you go around the world, there's really nowhere else where you can design, build, install, and test space equipment all in the same place. Literally, Mojave is the only place in the world that I think you can do all of those things at once.
It's very simple. We now have 17 companies. We have 19 rocket test sites. We have 155 basic contracts with different firms. This is the first time in the history of this airport in 40 years that the space industry now generates 50% of our total revenue. And that's a big deal. Kevin Mickey grew up in this town, and now he's back as the president and CEO of Scale Composites. He carries on that legacy and, if you will, was passed the baton by Bert Baton. And now look what's going on at Scale.
We excel at rapid prototyping and flight test. What we pursue is major milestone breakthrough projects, and that can be in aviation or now in space. Our most recent program is the program that you see behind us called Stratolaunch. And the program is to create the world's largest wingspan airplane that would carry a booster to roughly 30,000 feet, drop that off, and then the booster would take payloads of passengers onto space. The enemy of innovation is the intolerance for risk and some failure. And the Mojave Air and Spaceport, with our partner Stuart, the general manager of the airport, he's created an environment out here where we can do things in a way that you couldn't do them anywhere else in the country.
There's only one way to be totally safe. That's stop. But where does that put humanity? There's something in the human spirit that wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. We can't lose sight of that. And that's where this industry is. It would be very easy to just accept the fact that we went to the moon in my lifetime. And in my lifetime, we abandoned the moon. I'm not willing to accept that. Something is happening here. You can feel it. There's just a crackle. There's something in the air. I want to be able to look people in the eye and say, I was there. Were you?